Welcome Ifrikya FM viewers and listeners. We now turn live to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for a very special guest at the Global Cybersecurity Forum 2025. Joining us via video transmission is Sheema Sun Gupta, UNICEF's Global Director of Child Protection. Ms. Sheema Sun Gupta, thank you for joining us. So let's start with your perspective. What are the biggest cyber threats currently facing children in Africa, and how is UNICEF working to protect them online?
So, UNICEF recently did a study of a few African countries to see what are those online threats for children, and these were in Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, Ethiopia. And interestingly, what we found is 4 in 10 children actually received sexual requests online, and then 13% of the children received unwanted attention. And so this puts them actually at a huge threat of online sexual exploitation, grooming, and other such harmful content.
Exactly. And nowadays we see a growing use of social media platforms for
available that tech companies can actually use, so that they are actually designing apps and platforms looking at safety by design. So that's important. Bringing the two together is important, and working together is extremely important on this one as well.
For grooming and exploitation, how can governments and tech companies better cooperate with UNICEF to safeguard children?
So there are a few things here that need to be done. So at the government level, with the public sector, what we need to do is look at regulation. And what are those regulations? Are there regulations at all? Are those regulations being adhered to, if there are? Working with tech companies, there is guns available that tech companies can actually use, so that they are actually designing apps and platforms looking at safety by design. So that's important. Bringing the two together is important, and working together is extremely important on this one as well.
So my last question for you, do you see a link between online exposure and the vulnerability of children to recruitment by extremist groups, and how can this be addressed effectively?
So online, children are online, and that's the reality of their lives. And just as being online poses risks of sexual exploitation and abuse, it also poses risk to recruitment. And we have seen this. We've had some data and research done, and we've seen in more recent times, particularly in the Ukraine war, children have been recruited through online means on both sides. We've had this before during the time of ISIS as well. There were a lot of online recruitments, and this actually is why we go back to that about awareness creation in children, protecting them, giving them the information, and empowering them to have those decisions, but also to have those conversations. Are they having those conversations with the right people? Are they able to speak to their parents, to their family, to their teachers? Are they able to talk about these things? Because if they don't feel safe to speak about it, these violations, including recruitment, will increase.
We sincerely thank you, Ms. Sheema Sun Gupta, for sharing your valuable insight with us live from Riyadh at the Global Cybersecurity Forum 2025. And of course, thank you, dear listeners and viewers of Ifrikya FM, for being with us for this important interview. With you, Abdelmak Belhushat from the studio of Algiers.